Okay guys, what is going on? It's Watches95 here, and I am back for another video. And today, as you can tell by the title, I have got some things to just talk about. Because when I originally saw these events happening, I had mixed thoughts, and now I've had like a couple of days to really let them sink in, and I just thought it might be interesting to hear what I have to say. Also, I just want to get them off my chest, and it's why not just put it into a YouTube video. But sorry, just having a drink. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it is the recent roster changes um, for the NA and some of the EU LCS teams for the upcoming summer split. Now, if I can find, I think I might be able to find the actual teams for that will be in the split. Let me see. Teams, here we go. Sorry about this, I should have found this out earlier, but I'm going to just go through EU because there have been more changes on the NA side, so I'm going to talk about that majority of the time last. I don't even know. But anyway, the EU LCS teams are exactly the same as they were last split. All the teams that went into relegation managed to get back up. So that is Alliance, Copenhagen Wolves, Fnatic, Gambit Gaming, Millennium, Roccat, SK Gaming, and Super Hot Crew. And then the NA teams, we've got Cloud9, Complexity Back, Counterlogic Gaming, Curse, Evil Geniuses, LMQ, Team Dignitas, and Team Solo Mid. So starting off with probably the biggest news, well, one of the biggest news for EU is Alex Ich is actually left Gambit Gaming, which the reason for it is because he's a married man, he's got a child, and he doesn't see them enough. So obviously you can understand that when you're not seeing your wife and your child a lot, then it's going to be hard. And he's apparently, that's the reason that they've posted that he's left. But on the competitive side of things, I would have tried my utmost to keep him, because although Gambit were quite inconsistent over the spring split, they're a really good team, and Alex Ich is a really good mid laner. He just needs to get back on those champs that he really kicked off the season well on, like Kha'Zix, Zed, these assassin type players. He hasn't really been going for that. He's been focusing more on like team synergy, and I think that's one of the reasons that Gambit didn't do so well at the end of the split. One of the other reasons is just Darian. He does whatever the fuck he wants, and sometimes it works out really well, and other times it doesn't work out at all. So yeah, I think it's a really odd. I just think it's really odd overall. But they haven't announced, or as far as I'm aware, they haven't announced who their new mid laner is going to be. So, well, as of right now, which is the 5th of the 5th at 10:23 UK time, Gambit Gaming have not announced who their new mid laner will be. So yeah, that's the first EU news. The second one kind of ties into the NA side of things, so this is quite a good segue. It's the Copenhagen Wolves. Now, I'm actually going to get back to this. I'm just going to move straight over to NA. It all makes sense if you haven't heard the news. But first of all, we're going to start off with Dignitas, and Dignitas have signed both Shifter and Zion Spartan from Coast. Now, if you didn't know, Coast got relegated by Complexity Black, I believe. Um, I'm just reading it quickly. But yeah, they signed those two, and they are obviously Team Coast's most standout players in my opinion, especially Shifter. He's one of the best um, mid laners NA in my opinion, just because he plays in most of his matches. He plays, you know, really well or decently well, and he's always really consistent. So he's someone you can rely on, and Zion Spartan is a good, strong top laner, and you know that it makes sense for them because Cruiser, he's an okay top laner. Like when I'm saying this, I'm talking about the competitive scene. So obviously, all of these, you know, professional players are good enough to be in that top tier. But when you compare Zion, Spartan, and Cruiser, they're very like I Zion is a much better uh, version of Cruiser in my opinion. They both play quite similar types of champions, quite like hard carry champions, um, and they're both quite inconsistent at times. But Zion is a stronger laner and he is more consistent. So signing those two is a really good move for both Zion and Shifter, and also Dignitas. I think they're going to really benefit from the move. And I'm really looking forward to watching Dignitas this season. Like, I didn't go out of my way to watch them in the spring split, but I've been watching Cutie Pie, their AD carry. He's been streaming a lot in this off season. I've been watching him a lot. He's really funny. You know, he's a bit weird. He's a bit of an oddball, but you know that's the type of character I guess I like. And I've been watching Zion. Zion was streaming earlier today, and he was during Crumbs, but yeah, I just think it's a really good move overall, for all for all constituents apart from Team Coast, who seem to be disbanding. I guess apparently Nintendo X is gonna be like taking a break or whatever, but I don't know what Wiz Fusion or Daydream are gonna do. But yeah, Dignitas have signed Shifter and Zion Spartan, and I think it's a good move. Now moving over to the biggest news of all. So at the beginning of this split, this season, well, it was kind of last season. TSM Reginald stepped down from his position as mid laner, and they signed Bjergsen. And in the actual split, you know, they were top of the leaderboards for God knows how long, until like the last few weeks, and then it all sort of went downhill in playoffs, and you know they got second place to C9. But you know the Bjergsen move really helped TSM, and there's a whole new roster. Well, not a whole new, but a lot of changes are happening to TSM, and the first one that was announced on May the 3rd was that the odd one is stepping down, similarly to how Reggie has stepped down. You know, he's going to become a coach, and he doesn't feel that he is capable of helping the team anymore. You know, from a player's point of view, and he wants to be a coach. I don't know if he wants to be a coach, but he's going to be a coach. And him and Reggie, I think they're going to do a pretty good job, because you know Reggie's been there for ages. Odd One has been there since the team started, I believe. So you know they've got a lot of history, and I think that it's a pretty good move. The jungler that they're getting in. Sorry, my throat is really sore. But the jungler that they're getting in is amazing. I'm not even going to attempt to say his real name because it's so long, but it is amazing from the Copenhagen Wolves. So this is the big news from the Copenhagen Wolves side of things, that Amazing has migrated to the North American scene, and he's going to be the new TSM jungler. For the Copenhagen Wolves side of things, like, they're obviously going to be really upset because Amazing had a really good split. It was actually his first split. I didn't know that, but it was his first split in the LCS, and they did really well. They came fourth, I think. Ended up fourth, or third. I can't remember. Which is really good. And you know, TSM obviously think he is a a good young talent, and that he can do the job. Like, and when I first heard the news, I was really like shocked and like kind of sad, because Odd1 has been there for so long, and he's a really good like jungler, good player. You know, he's not a very selfish guy. I get the feeling he's not a very selfish guy, and that's why he doesn't play feral junglers, and you know, he just sacrifices himself for the team a lot of the time. But a lot of that was just useless because the team didn't seem to be like following up sometimes in the later stages of the season and stuff. So I don't know, I think it is a clever move from TSM, because Amazing has a much wider jungler pool than the Odd1. Like, for instance, he plays Lee Sin, which the Odd1 barely touches. He's a very good Xin Zhao player, whereas the Odd1, you know, as I said, he's not a very selfish person. He doesn't really go for the farm. He just goes for like Lizard, Spirit of the Elder Lizard, or whatever, those jungler items. So he can get the stats to help his team. You know, he can gank the lanes and stuff like that. So it's a very aggressive move from TSM, and I think it could work quite well, because you know, Amazing is a good jungler, and as we've seen from both Dexter and Bjergsen this last split, the move from EU to NA has really like improved them, and they've blown up on the scene. Like, so yeah, I think it could go well for Amazing. Let's wait and see. But there's more news around TSM. So a couple of weeks back, TSM benched Xpecial, their support, who is one of the best supports in NA at the moment. And then all of a sudden, when was it? May 3rd. This all happened May 3rd, pretty much. It was announced that Xpecial was joining Curse, and it hit me like a train. I had no idea that, you know, stuff had gone wrong with Xpecial, because apparently a whole reason for the change is because of like what am I trying to say? Apparently he had, you know, he was arguing with the team, and like, this is just what I heard. This is not like confirmed or anything, but it's like argumentative and yeah, just like attitude issues, and that's why he got benched. But when he got benched, he actually, you know, he got kicked out pretty much. And then the replacement for him is this guy called Glee Glabu. He's got a very odd name, but he's been not jungling. He's been duo queuing with what's this guy's name? Wild Turtle, for like a couple of weeks now, and like ever since Xpecial got benched. And so I was on Reddit, and Reddit, you know, they were saying, Gligabu is going to be announced as the new TSM support. And if you don't know him, he was the support player for Cloud9 Tempest, which is the NA Challenger team. So first of all, for Curse, what an amazing move. They have had a problem with their supports. You know, they've had Bunny Fufu, they've had Saint Vicious go in there, and I think maybe one other, I can't quite remember. But you know, they've had problems with that position over this split, and so it's a really, really good move for them getting a special up. He is one of the best supports in my opinion. Him and Afromu, I think, are probably the best supports right now in NA. I don't know. I think Lemon Nation is really good as well, and well, I think Kiwi Kid is good as well. But I think those two, Xpecial and Afro, are just a class above. You know, very, very good players. Because when they get their picks, you know, their strong picks, then they can carry. Like, you don't often say that about a support. Like, a support can carry, but yeah, they just make the plays. They set up everything. You know, they're basically the playmakers of the team when, as well as like junglers and stuff. So I think the addition will be very positive for Curse, and I think they'll improve as a team because of it. They just need to work out like what style of play, what style of team they are, because they tried a lot of different tactics, like different team comps. Like they're trying to go, like sometimes they played a pick comp, sometimes they played like a poke comp, like a siege comp. You know, they tried all these different things, like split push, blah blah blah. You know, all of this stuff. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, if Xpecial can just like settle them down a bit. I think he probably will. But then, yeah, coming to the other side of things, you know, he's leaving, and they've got in Glabu, who, you know, he played for Cloud9 Tempest, which look, I'm gonna be honest, I've never even heard of, I think I've heard this guy once before, and I don't really know anything about him. I'm just looking at the page now. It says he's currently ranked number 34 on NA Solo Key Challenger ladder, and you know he has been playing with Cloud9 Tempest, so oh god. So yeah, I guess you know, I would have done like tryouts and stuff for a lot of players. You know, Turtle has been duo queuing with him, so he obviously likes him. So I think it could be okay. I mean, it's quite dangerous to change up your roster drastically. You know, they're bringing two new faces to their team, and it could potentially backfire. But I don't think it will. You know, Team Solo Mid are, you know, one of the best teams in NA. You know, they're top two, and I don't think they're gonna do like an XDG or anything where they play like really well one season and then fall off. You know, completely like like 2 months later or whatever. So yeah, I think there might be a time of, there might be like 1 or 2 games where the team plays really well and everything's going really well, the synergy is amazing, blah blah blah, and then there'll be like some problems, and you know, but that, I think that's just what happens when, you know, you swap your roster. You've got to expect that things are gonna, you know, get worse before they get better. And so yeah, I think I've given my opinions. I don't know. This is like the end of the video. I've been talking for like 20 minutes, and I've just realised like I've got a cold, I've got a sore throat, and it's just generally horrible. um, so yeah, oops, just hit my mic. I think I've given my opinions. I hope I have. I can't remember, which is quite bad. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna put, what like video I'm gonna put over this. Whatever it is, I hope it's like entertaining or whatever, because I wanted to just speak. Excuse me, Jesus, that's disgusting. Normally, when I do commentaries or when I want to talk about a topic, I'll play a game, and it's really bad because then I always get distracted by the game. You know, I'm concentrating on the game. I want to make it, you know, good for YouTube. But today, I just wanted to focus on the commentary. I didn't want to get sidetracked or anything, and I think I've done that. So yeah, whatever the gameplay is, I hope you've enjoyed it. But the main, you know, the main content is, you know, what I'm just talking about here, the roster swaps and everything. So I hope it was all like coherent. I did it in a sort of odd way. I sort of went from EU to NA and then back to EU for a little bit, and then straight back to NA. But I don't know. I hope it was all like, um, I hope it was understandable. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then you know, leave a like or whatever. But the main thing I want to see is your thoughts. So um, I'll put a link on the screen actually right now, um, to my Twitter, so you can click on that and you can come over, you know, follow me or whatever. But you know, tweet me your thoughts, and you know, we can have a conversation. Or as always, you can just put it down in the comments section below. So yeah, oh yeah, I did want to say one thing. I wanted to say this at the beginning actually, is that I'm just a fan. Like, obviously, I play League of Legends, so I understand what is going on. But I suck at the game. Like, I'm in Bronze 3. I'm terrible. Um, so I'm not trying to be overly critical. I'm just giving my opinions on, you know, what I've seen of the spring split, what I've seen of the junglers like in solo queue and their streams and stuff. So not of just junglers, the players in general. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do, is just give my opinions, give my thoughts. So just to anyone, just don't take any offense from this, because I'm not trying to offend anyone. As I said before, I am just trying to give my opinion. So that is it. I'm gonna give my rest a throat. I'm gonna give my throat a rest, is what I meant to say. Wow, GG. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you do want to have a conversation with me, then you can click the link whenever it was. I can't even remember, 21 minutes or whatever. Or you can go in the description and there'll be a link to Twitter. Also, there'll be a link at the end actually, so it doesn't matter. Wherever you go, there will be a link to Twitter. There will be links everywhere for everything, you know. So don't worry. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I have really enjoyed doing this, even though my throat is like all fucked up now. But yeah, just my name, as always, is What's95, and I will see you again in the future for another video. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Scarlet Spider, shut up, Stan. It's amazing that you can talk with your mouth closed, but honestly, shut up. I'm trying to look at the comments. Scarlet Spider, Black Cat. I don't know what Alpha is. What the fuck is Alpha? If anyone knows what Alpha is, just please tell me, because I've never heard of the Marvel comic called Alpha.